After cancer, your food matters. But is the keto diet the answer? I'm Dr. Amy, and in this video, I'm showing you exactly what you need to know about the ketogenic diet if you're a cancer survivor, if you have a high risk of developing cancer, or if you just love someone who has cancer. Does the keto diet lower your risk of cancer, or does it increase your risk and potentially make things worse? The debate online about food after cancer is intense, filled with completely false information and downright lies. Some people are saying the ketogenic diet is the only way to go for cancer survivors. Forget the rest. And others are saying it's an absolutely terrible diet and cancer survivors should skip it altogether. So what's the truth? What's the right path for you? In this video, I'm showing you if the ketogenic diet is safe, if it will reduce your risk of cancer, and if it's a right fit for you. Let's dive in. Now, after I was diagnosed with cancer, I knew I wanted to do absolutely everything in my power to stay 100% cancer-free. I never wanted it to come back again, ever. Because there's a lot of fear and unknown surrounding cancer, there's potential for misinformation to spread like wildfire. Many women that I work with in the Cancer Freedom Program come to me so frustrated because there's so much conflicting information online about nutrition after cancer. They want a voice of truth, someone they can trust. Well, as a doctorate in cancer care, an oncology researcher, and a cancer survivor myself, you will know that I will bring you the science-backed truth. But the ketogenic diet has some big red flags for me. Plus, it does seem like a ton of work and a massive lifestyle change. As a cancer survivor, if I'm gonna put so much work into something, I need to know it's gonna get me the results I want, cancer-free for life. So let's first look at what the keto diet actually is. The ketogenic diet, which is commonly referred to as the keto diet, is a high-fat and low-carb diet. The goal of the keto diet is to put your body into a state of ketosis, where it burns fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates. The typical macronutrient distribution in the keto diet is 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbohydrates. This means you'll eat a lot of high-fat foods, things like meat or dairy or seeds, and you'll eat hardly any high-carb food, things like grains or vegetables or fruits. But first, we're gonna look at if the keto diet is actually safe for cancer survivors, and then we're gonna look to see if the keto diet will actually keep you cancer-free. That's up next. Is it safe for cancer survivors to eat this way? Well, luckily, most of the studies that we have on the ketogenic diet and cancer look at this exact question. Is it safe? It does look like this type of diet is safe for cancer survivors, but there are also quite a few unwanted side effects. But first, is keto safe for cancer survivors? And then up next, can keto actually help you stay cancer-free? Is it safe for cancer survivors to eat this way? Well, luckily, most of the studies that have looked at the ketogenic diet in cancer survivors have looked at just that. Is it safe? And it does look like the ketogenic diet is safe for cancer survivors, but there are a few unwanted side effects. The number one side effect that women experience during cancer or cancer treatment is exhaustion. For myself, I know my exhaustion was severe. I had a really tough time just making it throughout the day without having a nap. And it seemed to linger on for months and months after I finished my treatment. I knew that food was the key to actually coping with this exhaustion and getting my life back. But the ketogenic diet is actually known to make exhaustion worse. Cancer survivors who use the ketogenic diet often support exhaustion and weakness, which often leads to them quitting it altogether. And that's really the number one thing you need to consider when picking a diet as a cancer survivor. This has to be something that you envision yourself doing long-term. Many women will come to me and say things like, well, this isn't something I want to do while I'm on vacation or while I'm traveling. But your body doesn't take a break while you're on vacation or while you're traveling. The cancer risk is still there. So you need to find a way to eat to support your cancer remission even when times are busy and you're traveling and you're away. And trust me, there is a way to do this. It just might not be the ketogenic diet. The side effect that might be of the biggest concern, especially for breast cancer survivors, is the impact the ketogenic diet has on your blood cholesterol. The ketogenic diet is known for increasing your cholesterol and your LDL cholesterol, which is also known as your bad cholesterol. Now, here's why this is important for breast cancer survivors. A recent study looked at what the #1 cause of death was in breast cancer survivors. Now, of course, everyone's expecting the #1 cause of death to be breast cancer itself, but that's actually not true. The #1 cause of death in breast cancer survivors is actually cardiovascular disease. It narrowly beats out breast cancer. So although you might be primarily focused on staying cancer-free, you also have to consider your heart health. And ultimately, the ketogenic diet could be making this worse. But does the ketogenic diet work for cancer survivors? Does it actually help your treatment? Does it help you stay cancer-free? Because if it does, maybe all of this is actually worth the risk. Well, there's really only a handful of studies that have looked at the ketogenic diet and if it actually lowers the risk of cancer incidence. The theory is that the ketogenic diet lowers levels of blood glucose and insulin, which are needed for tumor growth. Good theory, but this doesn't necessarily check out. Studies looking at the effectiveness of the ketogenic diet are weak and small, and we lack a randomized controlled trial on this topic. A 2021 systematic review looking at the ketogenic diet and cancer risk actually only found 6 studies. 6 studies had been published and none of them showed statistical significance in reducing the risk of cancer. So currently, there's really no studies that show that the ketogenic diet will lower your risk of cancer, stop tumor growth, or improve your overall survival. Now remember that the ketogenic diet is known for being high fat and low carb. That means low in foods like whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. And when we compare the ketogenic diet to other diets that are known for reducing the risk of cancer recurrence, it really doesn't stack up. For example, the American Cancer Institute recommends eating a diet that's rich in whole grains, fruits, vegetables, beans, and legumes. They also suggest to limit the consumption of red or processed meats. That's pretty much the opposite of what the ketogenic diet is suggesting. But if you're not convinced with the American Cancer Institute, then let's look at what the American Cancer Society says. It's known that a plant-forward diet actually reduces your risk of a cancer recurrence. There is a common theme. They are saying almost the exact same thing. This is because it's known that a plant-forward diet reduces your risk of cancer or cancer recurrence. Let me explain why a plant-forward diet works for cancer survivors. Now, before we get into this, I want you to know that plant-forward does not mean the absence of meat. You can still very safely eat chicken, turkey, fish, and occasionally red meat as part of your nutrition as a cancer survivor. There's 2 reasons why this is important. The first is that plant-based foods offer fiber. We know that cultures that eat higher amounts of fiber actually have lower cancer rates. But in North America, we just do not consume enough fiber. With the ketogenic diet, you'll be eliminating almost all of your carbohydrates. Because fiber is a type of carbohydrate, you're going to be limiting your fiber as well, potentially completely missing out on this very simple and easy way to lower your cancer risk. What a shame. The second is that plant-based eating offers antioxidants. We know that cancer survivors who have gone through cancer and cancer treatment have lower serum antioxidant levels. This is a big problem. If you have lower antioxidant levels, then you're more likely to catch a common cough or cold, but you're also more likely to have a cancer recurrence. We need to bring your antioxidant levels back up to normal levels. Having low antioxidant levels puts you at risk of a cancer recurrence because you need antioxidants to fight off free radicals. Free radicals are created every day in our body in response to our environment or the foods we eat. But antioxidants can neutralize these free radicals and save you from developing cancer cells. But if you don't have adequate antioxidant levels, then this can happen. You get antioxidants from plant-based foods, fruit and vegetable. But again, with the ketogenic diet, they're suggesting almost no fruits and vegetables. So overall, the ketogenic diet is one of the worst diets for cancer survivors. It encourages you to cut out foods that would significantly lower your cancer risk and adds in foods that increase your cancer risk. If you're a cancer survivor or have an increased risk of developing cancer, then the ketogenic diet is not for you. But if it's not the ketogenic diet, then how should you be eating? That's exactly why I've linked up this next video here on foods to eat after cancer. Click the link here and I'll see you in the next video.